Welcome to the 40-year celebration of the Israelite nation worldwide ministries.
This is not a big speech that I have. As a matter of fact, first and foremost, I have to say thank you to the Lord God of our fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Indeed. For making all of this possible, for giving us our elder, endowing him with the spirit of truth that he has shared with all of us that are here, and some of us that are not. And I want to read something. It's not so much a prepared speech, but it is something that I had to do. This was an assignment that our elder had us do. This was during our communications course. And this was at the Accord Center. And at the conclusion of our communications course that we had to write a synopsis of what we learned, what we experienced within the communication class that our elder taught us. And I'm going to read you some of my words that I remember. This is the original copy. I still have my corrections on it. This is the original copy. I didn't make any corrections. So I just want to read a couple paragraphs from this. And it says here, to begin with, this has been one of the most unexpected surprises that I have ever had. I never thought that I would learn as much as I did being involved in the course. At first, I thought it was going to be a re-educated of the finer points of the proper protocols of rostrum management and public speaking. I had in mind the days when we first were taught at Earl's Court. I can still remember being told time and time again to stop and get down from the rostrum. I must have looked like such a fool. In looking back, I have to admit I was thoroughly outmatched. I mean, I was just some angry, semi-straight street kid going up against the founders of Unity Force. I think the only thing that kept me going back to try was hearing Elder, who was known as Shadrock, saying, no matter how many times he keeps getting knocked down, he keeps coming back for more. I thought that it was going to be Earl's Court all over again, but boy was I in for a big surprise. Almost 12 years later, myself, now a priest, among with my fellow priests, Tony, Kevin, Andel, Garth, Troy, Lena, and Patrick, who was also the chief priest. We were all being strapped in for a ride like no other. A ride that would take us to the outermost limits of our imaginations and dig deep into the subterranean regions of our subconsciousness. This would be a journey not to be compared to any other. And only those of a select few, the very elite, those brave souls who would, over the past 11 years, some more than others, I might add, managed to survive. The blasting, the onslaught, the bombardment, the consistent pounding, and being tried as silver is tried in the fiery furnace. That is known as the wrath of our Elder Shadrock. Then, and only then, would you be worthy of embarking on such a perilous endeavor. May the God of Israel have mercy on these unsuspecting souls. Those were the first two paragraphs. There was There was more to that. But at the end of our communications course, we had to write a synopsis and and this was part of the journey. Most of us in this room have no idea. You might think that our elder is just a simple little man. But I tell you, in those days, when elder called, you had to be, as a matter of fact, he told us we had to wake up before the sun as young men. He taught us how to tie our ties. He taught us how to, you're right, Elder Sophie. This is not your girlfriend. You're cohabitating, that's your wife. Hey, cool. And this is what the foundation of who we are. Those that were up earlier, as Earl's Court, that's who I look towards. I look towards Elder Castrilli. I look towards Elder Michael. I look towards Elder Andel. And I'm not going to exclude Priest Tyrone as well, too. I look to them. They are the ones that are here with me on this journey. They're the ones that started this journey with me. And we don't know what tomorrow may bring. But we do know this. As long as we continue to serve the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob in spirit and in truth, and as long as we are here to work for and defend this nation, this Israelite nation worldwide ministries, to defend your family, to defend those who you are raised with, to reach out the arm, the hand, and to lift up your brethren. This is what our elder taught us all these years, that we are a family. You might not like me some days. You might get upset with me some days. But at the end of the day, you're the one that I have to look towards. I look out to this audience so much. You have no idea how much I appreciate each and every person that is here. This is a long journey. It is a long journey. And thankfully, I do understand now that I'm not 40 years old. I'm a little bit older than 40. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. But I do have to say this. My journey began when I was 19 years old. I had to be corrected the other day because I was in the living room and it was just a brief moment, and my grandson was there. I don't remember who was holding him. Joel was there. And I looked at Joel and I said, Joel, how old are you now? He said, I'm 20. I said, wow, you're 20 years old. I said, can you imagine having a child at 20 years old? He said, oh, no way. No. Jalisa, can you come here, please? Come. We gotta go around? Okay. Go on, tell you. I know I'm putting her on the spot. Come, Jalisa, come. Everyone, this is my daughter, Jalisa. I was corrected. I wasn't 20. I was 19. I was 19 years old. And Jalisa was 6 months. And that's when I first started to take her with me on Saturdays to Futura and then Shoreham. She was crawling around in the and you remember Elder Cheryl. Yeah, this is Jalisa. My firstborn. you look at her as to say your marker in the nation, I do the same thing. I'm not going to tell you how old she is. She's 21 and something. Thank you, Jaleesa. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But in the early days, her first Passover, we actually walked to Elder Castrulli's house in our very first Passover. The first Passover that I ever witnessed or experienced was in the basement of Elder Castrulli's home at 121 Hallam Street. And that's where we had our first Passover.
I had them in the same time.
Yes.
Yes.
And we actually lived about like 5 minutes away. Didn't even know all these years. We lived about 5 minutes away from Elder Castrulli's house. I still remember pushing the stroller because we walked from our house, from the apartment, to Elder Castrulli's home. And that was the first time I sat down and had Passover. My first time meeting my elder, it was an experience because I heard him first on a cassette tape. He was not so much critiquing, but he was correcting the speaker on the tape, Dr. Benny Yakinen, who was an Egyptologist. So Elder, in those days, was correcting a renowned Egyptologist. And that was the first time I heard my elder's voice. And when I met him, I said, you don't sound like how you do on it, how I envisioned you, how you look. And I said to him, you remind me a lot of my dad. And he said, I bet you I'm nothing like your dad. And he was absolutely correct. Elder was nothing like my dad at all. My dad was a staunch Christian. So there you have it. Need I say more? My days growing up in this Israelite nation have been like no other. I remember so much. I've experienced so much. I have seen so much. And the thing about life is that, the food that we eat, our belly will be hungry in a few hours. Some of us are already still hungry. Our eyes will never want of seeing. And in this nation, you never stop learning. You never stop growing, and you never stop learning. You never stop the knowledge that is coming in. But with that knowledge, there comes the ability to understand. And we have been blessed by our elder to teach us how to tap into, how to speak to our God to obtain the spirit of understanding. Because if you don't have the spirit of understanding, you will be lost in this world that is full of so much knowledge. So when I look out and when I research and when I read and when I dig and I'm pulling away things, the question that I always have in my mind is, where is the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob in all of this? If you can't find the God of Israel in what you're looking for and what you're digging up and what you're searching for, that means you are lost. Because it's the God of Israel that anchors you. That spirit of truth anchors you to your Father. And this is what we have learned, and this is what we have gained. 40 years is supposed to be a time of maturity. So this 40 years for this Israelite nation, Worldwide Ministries, I see that we are coming into and growing into an age of maturity. When maturity comes, wisdom is there and understanding. So I want to thank my Elder Shadrock for all that he has done, all that he continues to do, because he has never turned his back on the God of Israel. There is no person that I know who obeys the God of Israel more than our elder. I have seen him even stand up and say, I am not doing that because I know this is not right. I know that this is not what we're supposed to be doing. I've literally seen him do that. So I can't equate anyone to our elder. Our elder, as he said here, as he stood on the stage, he does not get paid. He doesn't take anything from this nation. And because of that, we, myself and my fellow council members, we walk in the same ilk, we walk in the same footsteps as of our elder. We do not take any payment. Isn't that good? We don't pass around no bucket. There's no bucket going around. There's nobody shaking and looking in. We don't lock the doors until the bucket is full. We don't do that. What you are seeing is the free will offering of what you've worked for and what you pour into the nation. So when you pay your tithes, and you should pay your tithes, I don't know why our elder would even have to utter those words. For me, I am honored to pay my tithes to the Israelite Nation Worldwide Ministries. It's not only something you do, it is a commandment. You are commanded to pay a tenth of your earnings to the house of the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Why would you disobey that commandment?
That's the very least we can do.
He doesn't ask for much. So why? This is what we mean when we talk about maturity and coming into the 40 years. And if you think that you have seen anything at all, you just wait till the next 40 years. You just wait until the next 40 years. Our God is great. Our God is true. Our God is the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, and there is none else. With that, I say peace. I have my sisters here, Officer Charmain and Officer Doreen, to say some words. I don't want to take up the whole afternoon, but I do thank you. And Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
All right.
Peace, everyone.
Peace.
Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year.
Happy Aviv.
Happy
Happy New Moon. Happy. Peace, everyone. My goodness, it's just such an amazing honor to be here today to celebrate the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob's New Year's. What do you say to that?
Yes.
You guys look like you're bored. I mean, my goodness. Should I go off and come back again?
No.
This is the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob's New Year's.
Yeah.
Show it. This is such an incredible time, and I am truly honored to be here. Tell me something. How many of you 20 years ago, 15, 20, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, ever thought that you would be doing this? How many?
What?
You thought you were doing this?
No.
Oh, okay. Wow, I was going to say, that's kind of amazing. So, I've been thinking about this New Year's for a very long time, and for many, many reasons. And I have to tell you first and foremost that the God of Israel is the designer of my life. So that is my story this year. He is the designer of my life. And you can coin it as well, you can take it as well, I don't mind, you know. It's all about sharing here, right?
Yeah.
So first of all, I want to tell you why he's a designer of my life, and then explain to you what happened at the beginning. And I'll try not to go for 3 hours, as Elder Andrew said. Okay, I told him I'll do 2 hours and 59 minutes, right? All right then, okay. So why is he the designer of my life? I think this is just so incredible. If anybody likes puzzles, you look at your life and it's just like, oh my God, this is so incredible. You know, Elder Castrilli would understand, because when we see all these things like line up and match and connect, it's just like, oh my God, this is so incredible. So I'm going to tell you just something really quickly, and you'll probably hear more about it, more, you know, different variations. But I just want to say that this New Year's is also the representation of our 40th year anniversary, no?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to kidnap some of this. My husband and I, we have been traveling back and forth for about 20 years. This year, we retired. And then he doesn't like to hear the word retire, but that's another story, okay? This year, I'm also going into a cycle. Okay, now this is our God, okay? This is our God's design. This year, my sister reminded me that it is my 28th year of baptism.
Wow.
Okay, yeah, I know, that's pretty cool, isn't it? It is though, isn't it? This year, my youngest son will be baptized. Stop. Oh my God. I know. I would have 4 horn blowers. I know, so. Yeah. Okay. I know there's more that I'm missing, but I was just like, oh my God, this is just like so incredible. So now you can understand why I take this really personally. Really, really personally. So I just want to say that, you know, going back to the very beginning, because I think it's really important, you know, listening to Friday night a few nights ago, hearing Elder Castrilli and Elder Michael, it was like, oh my gosh, these guys just set the bar so high. It's like, oh, where do I start from? But I just want to say that he truly is the design of my life. Oh, by the way, I should also mention that this whole thing kicked off with our elder cycle. Look at that, guys. I know. Okay. Like I said, there's many things, but I just wanted to bring those points out. But as many of you know, that I wasn't born here, I was born in the UK. So how did I find myself here? If I told you that it was just a dream of a little girl, maybe 12 years old, you'll probably think, oh yeah, right. I'm telling you, it was a little girl, 12 years old, that was dreaming about coming to a place like this, Canada. Okay, so the sad story is that life wasn't always good. And so I used to dream a lot, right? So some people dream to escape, and it's a good thing sometimes. So, dreaming to escape. One of the things I used to say to my friends is that, my friends, you know how children are, they go and hang out. I used to say to them, you know, when I was adopted, these are not my real family. Okay, right, it's like, you know, trying to escape, right? Whatever. It worked. So, it just so happened, and you guys think this is crazy, but it just so happened that when I was about 14, 15, I found out that my biological father lived here. That I had a biological father, which wasn't the same as my brothers. Guys, I was dreaming this before it happened. This is the God of Israel's work. Isn't that amazing? But not only that, not only did I find out that my biological father was different from my brothers, he lived in a country that I used to dream about. Right? And then it just so happened that growing up, you know, finally, when I finally met him, I was 21. When I came to this country for the very first time. Guys, I mean, like, you should say, oh my gosh. You know, when Elder Shadrock was doing his lesson the other day, and he was like talking about voices and, you know, telling him to buy a book, I was like, oh my gosh. It's like, this is huge, guys. It is huge, right? So, finding out my biological father, that I used to tell a so I wasn't lying, okay? For one, I wasn't lying. There was some truth there. So finding out that he lived here, that was my ticket over here. And I'm just looking at the fact, the way the God of Israel works, it was just unbelievable. But I have to admit that he was always there in my life protecting me. Oh my gosh, he was protecting me. Who can actually say that today, that the God of Israel protected them, even when they were doing like some crazy, stupid things, that they didn't even deserve protecting, but he protected, right? Crazy, stupid things.
What? Oh, yeah. Oh, you know.
Yeah, so this is why I know that the God of Israel has been on my side even before I knew him. And this is why today I can stand here and say, thank you, God of Abraham, God of Isaac, and God of Jacob. And even to say thank you to his messenger, even Elder Shadrock, because everything just aligned, right? Coming to this country, the first thing that I knew, I have to go back a bit. First of all, growing up, I always used to say to people that I couldn't call myself a Christian because I didn't believe I was a good girl. And because I wasn't a good girl, I was not going to call myself a Christian. Isn't that awesome? I was naughty. I was pretty naughty. Okay, I'm not going to go into that details, but yeah, maybe one day. Not today. We don't have enough time. We don't have enough time to tell you how bad I was. Anyway.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't. We don't have enough time. Yeah, it's 2 hours and 59 minutes. I don't think. Anyways, so. But in addition to that, I also realized that the God of Israel, he fed me. You know, there were times when I was hungry. There were times when I had no food. I was telling Elder Angel today about lemon water. But the first thing when I think about lemon water was that used to break my hunger, because that's what I would drink when I had nothing else, right? And that's how bad things were at times. But we're not going to go into that. But in addition to that, I want to tell you just a quick story. I used to live next door to a serial killer. Anyways, I know, go figure, eh? No, you want to know, that's why I'm saying the God of Israel is the designer of my life, right? He was a notorious serial killer, but you would, okay, this is going to blow your mind. He actually, and this is kind of crazy, he killed one of his daughters. Right? And he killed a whole bunch of people, and he buried them under his basement, and his basement was connected to mine, right? Yeah. And the daughter that he killed, he had like 7, 8 children. The daughter that he killed, her name was Charmain. Anyways, let's not even. Okay. Do you see how our God is a protector and designer of your life? Okay. So this guy lives next door to me, and I'm a student. I'm living by myself in a studio apartment right next door to this guy for, I don't know, 2 years? Yeah, that was crazy. So, what can I say? That the God of Israel, he is the designer of my life. I remember when I had absolutely nothing. The guy that came here, when my husband and I, when we tied our cords and everything, when we got married, he was a really good friend of mine from university, right? And things were so bad that I remember he writing me a check, right? He wrote me a check, and he kept writing and he kept putting the zeros on there, and I told him to stop, right? Because you don't want to, but this is how the God of Israel places people in your path, right? He was there to help me. And that's all he did. He just helped me. Right? Anyways, in saying all of that, I finally came to Canada. And the first thing that I found out, this was from a family member of mine that used to be here. she was the one who told me about the God of Israel's name. And it was in 1995 that I first met everybody, or people from the Israelite nation. I went to a weaning feast in 1995. I had no idea. I met people that I never even, they're just like lots of people to me. So this was in 95. At the end of 95, when I was expecting my first son, it just so happened that I was trying to come to the nation and I couldn't get here. And every single time I tried to come, something would happen. My car would break down. There was a snowstorm. There was always something and I couldn't get here. And I was living in my dad's basement at the time. And I used to suffer debilitating migraines. I do from time to time, but that's when it really started. And I used to have like these experiences of being held down. And it was like just crazy. And it was literally a month after my son was born that I came here to the nation in 96. Could you imagine that? And that's been my life ever since. I've been here. Yep. I've been here ever since 1996, 95, 96. So on that note, there's so much more, because I even want to talk about our elder. There's a reason why I am an officer, why we have Officer Doreen, even Officer Castrilli and Officer Michael. The reason being is that we helped to establish branches. And of course, as you know, we've got Minister Jaden here today, we've got Priest Tyrone here today. Come on guys, my English boys. And there's a reason. Elder came all that way. He used to travel a lot. Oh, we even have our lovely Alison. Oh my goodness. But England is representing. So, just to say that, our elder, and Junior, my brother, oh my gosh. My brother, right here, Junior. I know. It's crazy. Anyways, okay, so, like I said, my life is designed by the God of Israel, okay, trademark, okay, you see the little TN. And I am truly grateful because, if it wasn't for our elder with, sharing his knowledge, not just understanding what is written and finding out more, but actually sharing it, and so passionate about making sure that other people enjoy this as well. Look at the culture, look at what we have. Oh my goodness, look at our beautiful sisters and brothers that, Elder Harriet, my goodness, you always, oh my goodness, you're just so amazing. You are so incredible. All of my brothers and sisters that put their hands in this nation to make it such a great place. Even my brothers and sisters in the council, I mean, my goodness, the things that they do in preparation. Somebody was talking about baptism, and I was explaining to them, baptism is it's like a month. It's like a whole task to prepare, to get here, to do these things. Anyways, I just want to once again say thank you to the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob for allowing us to know his name, to keep his laws, statutes, and commandments, his statutes and his judgments. I want to say thank you to our Elder Shadrock for sharing this news, for sharing this message. I want to thank the council for even hearing the call and wanting to serve. And even you, my brethren, for being here, for even being a part of this nation. And I just want to say I'm really grateful, really honored to be here today. And thank you so much. Thank you for being who you are today. Peace.
This is the 40-year celebration of the Israelite Nation Worldwide Ministries.
We love you, God of Israel. Yes, we do. tried to get rid of me, but I'm back again at the podium. I listened carefully to all the speeches, especially the last one. That's a woman that decided not to take suspension seriously. Suspended her over 10 times. And every time I go to back, she's there. She wouldn't go home. You know, on a serious note, I had a meeting with a member of the council. And I asked him to look around carefully and to really admire and see what he noticed in this room. Some of you, when the nation started, none of the priests had fathers, none of their wives had fathers. And I always brought them all up, give them their first suit to wear, so that they can be gentlemen, look like leaders and rulers of this great nation. One thing at that time I believe was missing. They did not understand the meaning of family. And I asked a member of the council, like I said before, you come, your mother's dead, your father's dead, your uncle is in Jamaica, whatever it is, you're lonely. You just say one thing. The God of Israel always makes sure that he had created a family. And I always ask for you to remember what the scripture says in Luke 11. It was the disciples, the family of Israel that asked Jesus, Master, teach us to pray. And it was Jesus that says, and I keep saying this all the time, when you pray, you say, Our Father. It's not going for everybody. It's a family matter. So when you hear Christians are saying in Jesus' name, you let them do that. They're praying to us. Because Jesus is a member of our family. But when we as a family praying, Jesus told us, when you pray, you say, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed or holy be his name. And his name is not Jesus. We know his name. So when you come here and you look around, you can't say you're lonely. You cannot say, oh, my father's in Jamaica. My uncle is in Timbuktu. I don't have no family. This is your family. This nation is your family. I heard one of my daughters says, I grew up in a group home, foster care. You no longer have that. Look at it now. You have a family. Did you hear your daughter speak? She was born here. She was nurtured here. She was taught about the greatest God there is right here. We cannot and should not take this nation for granted. Those who wear wolves in sheep clothing, let them know where they are. You don't have to contact them, just be who you are right here with this family and let the seed grow and let your roots stay strong so that the branches would continue to grow helpfully prospective. Yeah. I am put up here to say all the people that were nice to me in this great nation. I heard Tommy speak. My goodness, I was blown away. They were looking for me with a searchlight under the table because I heard Tommy. And I said, I know the voice, but... Anyhow, today I'll be talking about Where's the paper? They give me, oh, this is the program. The first thing I'm going to do is, I have an assistant Charmain in a corner over there, but this has to do with people who work hard. This year was very close in choosing. We had to erase, delete, eliminate, put back. That's how it was. Now, for the branches, the Northeast was a person called Dion Bullard. The Northeast means New Jersey. Their brethren of the year was Dion. And this is what I got from that. They said Dion Bullard has exemplified unwavering commitment and dedication to both this community and the God of Israel. He consistently goes above and beyond to lend a helping hand, ensuring the success of every event and function, whether it's cultural event or RT400. Dion's involvement is always evident. He has seamlessly integrated into property management, partnering with Elder Tony to set up, break down, and maintain our space for all activities. His contributions and consistent effort truly affect the qualities. I don't know who put all these nice words here. Developing of being named Brethren of the Year. For Atlanta, they have chosen Elder Dexter. Who has demonstrated outstanding services as a dedicated, committed leader in the God of Israel's family, consistently displaying humble, positive attitude in the face of life challenges. St. Louis, it was Ezra Blair. Ezra has brought a unique flavor to our Friday night Bible studies. His elevated, mid-set, and thoughtful contribution, his leadership in the summer seminars was nothing short of excellent, demonstrating clarity, passion, and purpose as a guiding force behind SDL Rise. Ezra continues to inspire the generation in the next humility and strength. His commitment, character, and spiritual insight makes him a deserving recipient, Brethren of the Year. No. You got to understand, I'm a very young man. And because of my youth, some of them, I wear this for fashion. The Hebrew Israelites say that. They don't know, they're all dumb. So I can't read this. So you're going to have to read this for me, please. It's handwritten in green ink.
Okay. Peace, brethren. Yes.
Oh, you can say who the Brethren of the Year is in England. London, England. Hackney.
That's right. And that Brethren of the Year is Naphtali Rogers.
Do you know that used to be my favorite grandson? He was so everything. He would go in the shop with the little boy just to buy things for me to eat. A favorite grandson for me. And he became Brethren of the Year today.
He is present every week. He's early to help set up the building and tuck shop. He's one of the Rise leaders. He's teaching Rise doctrine classes. He's at the podium regularly. If someone cancels their lesson, he happily jumps in to teach. He joined finance as an apprentice, and now he has asked and recently joined the education department to be a teacher. Congratulations, Naphtali Rogers.
That is our branches. Now, locally, sit back and relax. Because this has to do with Toronto, Canada. I'm running for mayor next year. We got the Brotherhood of the Year later on. The Elder Shadrock Award. The first one is set on my table here that I'm standing is not you. It's the person that I'm going to name. Everybody thinks it's done. But it's not you. When we had, did you enjoy worship today? I forgot to mention that. I see all the old people dancing. I've never seen that. And my drummer is right here, and he has the beat. I can tell you that. Worship was so good today. I am sitting down talking to the CEC, and I look around and he's not there, so I was talking to myself. He just come up here and start whining. You know his wife used to be a dancehall queen, eh? So he came up here and started dancing and winding up and said, this is a real happy 40th, Junior. But there was a time when there was no worship. There were Saturday mornings when the place was empty. There was nobody here. We looked around and people, we got the claps. And that was a musical instrument. But one person always came and always there. I did not mention her name, but everybody knows. So there you go. There is no dispute. Everyone knows it was Auntie Charmain. We look around, and one of the priests would ask me, Elder, there's nobody there. Well, then somebody would whisper in my ear, Charmain, she's there. So Auntie Charmain, would you come? Would you walk around and then Officer Corey, would you come here?
Well deserved. I love you, Auntie.
Love you too. I never thought I would live to see this day. Most of the time I feel like I'm not pleasing the God of Israel. But for this to happen is like a dream come true. I pray all the time that I would please the God of Israel in this nation. I also pray that the youth
youth of this nation could look at me and be proud to call me auntie.
We love you.
I hold on to this God, and I give him thanks for Elder Shadrock and the priesthood every day, because I've never known love like this before. For real. This nation has taught me what true love is.
This is your family.
This is my family. If you don't have husbands, or mothers, or children, you get it all here. And that's what this nation is to me. I love this nation because, as Elder Randall said, the God of Israel is tough on those who he loves. So if you do something and you deserve a slap, you're going to get a slap. You will be corrected. But once you are corrected, you will be shy of doing the same thing again and again. You will hold back. You will think twice before you make a decision. Actually, more than twice, but yeah. You know, because you want to keep this. You want to hold on to this. I hold dear to my heart this family. I hold on dear to our Supreme Council, Elder Shadrock and the priesthood. I hold on dear to this doctrine. It is life to me. I think about it all the time. I think about it all the time. And that's how you stay. If your mind is stayed on the God of Israel, he'll help you. He'll put people in your life to make things happen. And as I talk about that, I remember what it's like to not have a home and to not have anyone. But he provides for me a home, a place to call home. And he provides for me people to call my family truly inside and out. And as I believe Joab said, it's better late than never. I didn't know this truth from the beginning. I was not there at Earl's Court, but I was there at St. Regis, and it is better late than never. Better late than never. This truth, it is life. Thank you, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, for this family. Bless Elder Shadrock, Elder Ando, the entire priesthood worldwide for being obedient to you, the greatest God that there is. And I'm going to follow in Elder Ando's footsteps. And when it's time to praise, I'm not going to hold back anymore. He's giving me reason to shout and to dance and to sing with my whole heart. And stop watching faces. Because people come and people go. This is a treasure to me. This life is a treasure to me. Thank you, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, for the spirit of truth, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding for which we serve you better every day. I love each and every one of you forever. Elder Shadrock, I can't say enough to you, but I am glad that there's people that can put it into words. But I know you're not a man of just words, you're of action. And even with whatever little energy I have left in me, I have to put it to praise the God of Israel, following your example, Elder. Peace, everyone. Thank you so much.
She's not only there in worship. I have to mention, when there's a feast, she's the first in the kitchen to wash the dishes. Always there washing the dishes. Because Junior failed to give us a washing machine. I have to continue because this year I was reminded I have to give more than one Elder Shadrock Award. Because there's always big fights about who should get it. And Officer Dorian reminded me when it first started, with all the confusion, I gave away so much Elder Shadrock Award because I wanted to give everybody. I said, it can't happen like that anymore. We have to recognize people who does the things for this nation that we can't ever forget what they do. And one person come to mind. You know, when I came here and everyone, they lined up on both sides and everyone congratulated myself and the CEC as we walked towards this microphone. And we came to make an opening address. And he says to me, it is such a beautiful thing to see so many beautiful people in here remembering the 40 years and all the things that we went through. And again, all the wolves that had sheep clothing. And there was a time when we had the woman that beat suspension. You know who that was? That she used to do the job, and she did a fine job with it. That is one thing about her. She was very good at what she does. I'm using the word was, and I think I shouldn't do that. I should use the word is. That's if you know your English. She always does a good job with whatever she does. And then someone accidentally took it over because at that time I think she was bad. She's always bad. But we can't get rid of her. Because I was always reminded that she is a good Israelite. So regardless of what, we can't get rid of her. Because somebody says, Atalia was bad, but she was a good Israelite. I said, she's like Atalia? Not bad? That she's worse. But she doesn't do it anymore. The person that accidentally started doing it wouldn't stop. And every feast looked different. But I didn't call no name. Why is everybody sending that person up here? That's not the person. Why is this person coming up here? They ain't call any name? You don't need to. I didn't call any name. When you walk through the gates of this nation, and you look around, you think that, who's the person that did this? And it's not this doing every time. It's every time there's a difference. Always. I tell you, you can never be lonely in this nation. And we are a great family in this nation. I can tell you that. But sometimes you take it for granted. But let me remind you, we didn't have to hire anybody in there because we have great cooks too. Whatever we need in this nation, we have it. right here. If we want the walls to break down, we got it right here. If you want the lights to put up, we have it right here. I said it yesterday. For those of you who pay tithes, I don't even have a bicycle. More or less a private car or a plane. We don't get paid. You think CEC mean cash in cash? No, we don't get paid. This is what we do. We own this building. The guy over there is selling the building. Guess how much he wants for it? $5 million. If that kitchen coop is $5 million, how much you think is this? Brethren, don't take this nation lightly. I'm telling you, this is a great nation. You're so few and you can do $1 million things. When you come at Purim and you see all the things we do for our children and people are coming in and all the things that are happening right here, all we have is 10 people. And we're doing $10 million properties we're doing everywhere. It's the power of the spirit of our fathers. Good leadership. That's what always needs. And now, I think we have it. I think the old man could even go. And I told you, I said it yesterday, and I said it again today. This new year, I've invited a whole set of people. Did somebody say something in that corner? That must be Val. Val is my favorite spy. This is what is happening. I don't have any family. When I look around and see people like Toriano and everybody, oh my gosh, I do have family. And you know what? With a couple of $1 million that you didn't give me, I worked for it. I got a few $1 million in my pocket. If you see anybody that's ugly in this nation, I would give you all my money. I got about $10. Look at how powerful we are. And that is what we're doing today. This place is so beautiful. And one person is always doing it. And this is the person.
Thank you for giving me life once again, because you know we were once dead before. And thanks to Elder for restoring this truth to us and allowing us to know who we are, that we're not just black people, but we're Israelites, and we belong to a king, and we have a kingdom. Thank you so much for returning us back to our faith, our culture, and to our Father. I will forever be grateful for you to returning this culture to us. And to the Supreme Council, thank you. It's an honor to always be here to serve and to do whatever I have to do to bless this nation. The God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob have given me strength to do what I got to do. And I always instill it to the children. If you don't do things for favors or get things in return or whatever the case may be, but you do it to glorify and praise the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and God of Jacob. And that's what we try to achieve every time. And I want to say to my crew, I'm hoping I remember all your names. I don't know why my voice is going, man, but I lose my voice about 50 times a year, you know? And you know what? I'm going to get you guys come here. Karen, Andrew, Pansy. I just want to see the team of people that I work with. My voice is going. I'm sorry. My voice is going. Junior, Colin. My voice is so good. I can't even talk right now. I'm so sorry. Too much. Carl, you know, come. Let's have a picture with the team. My voice is so going. Sorry, Elder. My voice is going. So I can't say much. That, you know, and even Charmain was here, you know, for the last couple of days with me, helping to get this place together. Auntie Learning, where you at? Auntie Vaughn, there's so many people that had put their hand in making this face and getting this place. Auntie Vaughn. I can't. Yeah, Charmain was here, Charmain. Yeah. Aaron! My voice gone. Patricia! Patricia, yeah, that's good. I just really gotta say, it's not me alone when I do what I do, but it's always teamwork. And if I've missed you, please come up and join me. And what I want to see, and even Dion called me this week and said, you know, I want to help contribute to the New Year feast and stuff like that. I said, sure. And she contributed. And when you see over in the altar room, you see the goals, you see the backdrop and everything. Dion also, you know, helped to contribute. And I want to say, when you work in this nation, it's not a one-man show when you do here. And as Elder has greatly displayed, you know, by bringing Elder Castrelli on, and then Elder Micah coming on, and then everyone's coming on. And this, we see, look at this. It's teamwork. And for this nation, we always have this teamwork about this nation. It's oneness and it's unity in how we do what we do and what we get done. And I want to say thank you to my incredible team that's always there. You know, we creating our ideas and doing the different things that we do. I thank you so much. I can't do it without all of you guys' help and stuff like that and what I'm doing. So, you know, I have this Elder Shadrock. It's an honor, Elder, you know, to have a, you know, even to have your name there and stuff like that. But I will. And I always say, you know, I'm always proud, you know, to wear our emblem. Because every time you're on the road, and I just want to let you know, every time you're on the road and you have your emblem, you're wearing it, you're different from everyone else. And everybody sees that. People are in awe with just that alone to see the emblem, especially when they go to work. And they're even the little babies and everything. And it's an honor to say, you know what, I say I get it from my parents, because that's what Elder Michael teach me to say. I know it came from the nation, but I wanted to see the longness and the history and the culture of we're not just regular black people, but when you see your face and you see that emblem, most of the times that you're wearing, you're different from everyone else. And people look up to you and they're honored to even have a conversation with you and to ask you about your culture. And then, and I want to say thank you, Elder. You have restored a culture, 40 years and counting. We'll be celebrating in August with a journey, with a gala, and so much more. And I thank you for restoring this culture for the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Thank you. And I want to say thank you, team, and to this entire nation. I mean, this is the team that works behind me in heaven, getting everything together. But this entire nation has been my foundation, even in helping to raise my children and get when I don't got nothing, no money, no nothing. I can call any of my brethren and they say, do you have this, do you have that? And they'll provide groceries, food, everything, clothes for my children and I to have. So this is a family, man. And I just want to say to the kitchen service and everything, you guys look and see what you see here. This is a family, and I want to let you know also, even Chef Dougie, I just want to let you guys know that this, you know, thank you. You're honored to be here to, you know, come for a minute. I just want to let you know you're so honored to be here. Come for us. Thank you, you know, for coming and blessing us today in the greatest house there is, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob house. Thank you. And with this I say peace and thank you once again.
Thank you for all your hard work. My feast is next week. Now you know that that everybody is gone. There's a very important part that is left. And that important part is, who did we fight over to make them Brethren of the Year? Who do you think that is? Antonio Castrilli? Nobody clapped. Oh no, he's not supposed to get any award. I don't know how to break this down, but I talk about the woman who beat suspension, and everybody know who that is. Everybody know how hard she used to work. And she has a husband that depended on work in the divorce. And then they realize this is a spiritual thing. They're married for life. Because the friend to write the divorcement, write in all the different papers, but could never write in the divorce paper. She's still here. But I'll tell you what happened. At that time, myself and Tommy were very close. We were nice. Not like now when she hates me. Myself and Tommy, we went to a house, and Tommy had pencil and paper ready to create and offer up a baby. And she, the woman that beat the suspension, running up and down the place, up and down the stairs, coming down. We wondering, what the hell is going on? Is that a bet? What did you say? Yeah. So when she finished running up and down, she came to me and Tommy, and she says, there is no more offering up. Why? Because her father says he wants her to be called Daniel. She is very responsible for the kitchen. I don't think she's here. Matthew, would you bring her up? Matthew, would you bring her up? I gotta ask the question, stay right there. Who brought this woman up? Matthew, Bitra. I have to tell you about the story. It was between her and somebody else. And then I went around and I'm asking, what about somebody else? Oh, they're okay, Elder, but she's so good. She's so unique. She's disciplined with money. And the guys from England, because when they call me, oh, I talked to Danielle, and she says $4,000. Could you do anything? I said, you know what? I can't do anything with that. You gotta, when you come down here, sit down with her and talk. She's a reasonable person. Good. And then one person said they came, and it was okay. I spoke to her. She's nice. So it says, that's good. She operates like she owns the place. So she gives you a hard time with a breakdown. I'm not budging. She wants to say that she's a Khazar. Sorry, those of you who know what a Khazar is. She wants to say she's a Jew. So if she says a price, she says a price. She got to get about 3-4 people to work with her to break it down. She has a very, very good reputation with finance and the kitchen. Even though she make me lose in the bingo, she is there with everything. And I didn't know she was so much loved. More than Matthew loved her. I did not know she was so loved. But people don't want to ask her about their fees because they're scared. Because she calls the price and she walk away. I'm not bargaining. This is it. I heard that from one person. They went to her and they were telling her, I don't have that much money. She said, that's the price. So you can understand, you can't bargain. Even though I tell the people from England, come down and bargain. Maybe she only bargained with people from Hackney. So I don't know. But anyhow, today, oh, this is heavy. Look at this.
By saying thank you to the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, because oh my gosh.
You can cry, it's okay.
Yeah, no, I just
find a tissue, please. Come here.
No, I don't need any tissue. I'm so I'm so grateful. When I talk to people, well, I don't tell everyone, but I'm a representation of everyone here. I'm a representation of the God of Israel. So I try my best to be professional when I deal with anybody. You know what I mean? Because, you know, I'm not going to be ghetto or anything. No, like, I'm professional. I talk to people and I want people to be like, okay, like, you know, this is headquarters. This is the God of Israel. This is Elder Shadrock. So I am so grateful. And, like, this is crazy because I could not have, this needs to have, and she's Charm's name on here, Jaleesa's name on here, everyone that helps me in the kitchen, because I could literally not have done it by myself. I asked, you know, the God of Israel for a car so that things could be easier for me to move around and do what I need to do, and he blessed me with a car, and like, you know, just things like that. So I remember when I first started, I think I called Grisando maybe twice, maybe 3 times. I said, I can't do this, I'm quitting. I quit so much, and he's like, Danielle, you're doing a good job, just like stick in there, like, so. I'm so nervous, but I'm so grateful, and like this belongs to so many people. Thank you to the council, everyone that voted for me, thank you. Oh my gosh, I have so much to say, and then when I sit down, I'm gonna be like, oh my gosh. But I'm so incredibly grateful. I'm so thankful. I'm Brethren of the Year. And I'm going to continue to do a good job and continue to make everyone proud. And thank you for all my support. Thank you for Mom, Freddie. There's just so much that I could not have done if it wasn't for my mom. I run so many things by her before I talk to people sometimes because it's like, but I'm grateful. Thank you for this.
This is the 40-year celebration of the Israelite Nation Worldwide Ministries.
In the springtime,